like you need me in the sky, the sky, the sky, the sky.
Talking about y'all being teenagers, crazy. I remember you describing the five of you crowded around a garbage can fire there on East 99th in St. Clair.
I mean, that's where it all came from, man. You know, we was always together, always, just day and night, roaming the streets together. You know, one of us a rap, and the other four would know, like, what ad-libs to do, like, right on time, like, all of us. And, like, it just came from practice and us rapping together all the time and doing music together. We just had that bond, like, musically and just, you know, like, on a family level. So it was like, we had some real fun times, you know. We had some fun times, some dangerous times, some, you know, like, some serious times. Like, I think the reason, like, we still able to come together is because we had all those times. We all know where we fit in this group, and we all know what we bring to this group, and I think everybody's comfortable with that. And that's why we're able to come back to the table and still make real good music, even better than before, to me.
When y'all first came out, your style, that style has really been assimilated into the mainstream to the point that that's something you hear on a lot of popular songs now. How does that make y'all feel?
Man, great. You know,
Like they on my nuts.
he said like they on my nuts.
It makes us feel great though, because you know we invented our own category. You know what I mean? We invented our own category for people to follow that. I mean, in the beginning, it pissed us off. I ain't gonna lie, you know, because you know the biters and all of that. But once we grew up and really recognized what it was, you know what I mean? It's kind of flattering because you know we did something that everybody appreciates and want to touch on. So, I mean, in a way, it's a good thing.
I remember when Lazy Bone came in '91, said me hyping them up, me striking them up, me giving them what they like, me letting them know that bunk of the flow, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I remember that, the nigga, once again. I remember those things, you know what I mean? This is '91. So, you know, a lot of people wouldn't say that Bone originated it. You know what I mean? But they would say that Bone put a patent on it. It's like I'm looking for some Pepsi. I'm looking for soda. But all I got is club soda. I need to put some syrup in it. And Bone had this ingredient that when you... it was like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, ginger ale, Sprite, and my Mountain Dew. And Mountain Dew all put together, you know. So I think that with that new style that a lot of people would say, Bone didn't do this, Bone didn't do that. You'll see a lot of murals to where you have Tupac, Biggie, Easy, Jay-Z, Onyx, and all the rest of these groups. But for some reason, you won't see Bone Thugs in Harmony. So I think that a lot of people know it, like yourself, who may be asking the question, and the people that are with it. But I think that it's really not really recognized in the industry to where, you know, people are just like, you know what, these dudes are innovators. These dudes have captivated audiences. These dudes have brought people to an entirely another level in music, in the genre. You know, to the point to where we have given to others. We have actually brought something to the table to where people can feed their children.
We are inventors of what we do. We created our own lane. We created our own style. You know what I mean? So when I look at it, it is flattery because, like he said, it's people eating off of it. But at the same time, we come back, since we're not on the murals, it's mandatory that we come let the world know that yes, we did do this, but because it's our place in history, for the simple fact that we created something and gave something to music that not only helped music to grow, but helped music to I would say elevate to a level to where at one point it was getting kind of stale. Then you had Bone Thugs and Harmony. I kind of look at it like Atari to the Xbox 360 when Bone Thugs and Harmony style of rapping came out. So our contribution to this game is history for us and our children. It's our legacy. So that's part of the reason why we're sitting here today and in partnership with Warner Brothers in hopes that they can help us get that message of we are inventors and creators of our own category, to get that message out there. And if they don't get that, then it's a problem. Not Warner Brothers, but if the main media, the rappers that emulate it, if one day it's not, you know, you look at the hip hop honors and Bone Thugs and Harmony is not honored as that, those inventors, as those originators, as those guys who sat down and intricately thought out something to double times what the game was doing. If that's not what it is, of course, like we always say, we gonna shut this motherfucker down.
Yeah, this is one more
Period.
thing to add. I think it's going that way. It's inevitable. And I think the mirror is itself is in the fact that the whole industry, the entire industry, felt as if that they had to implement this sound or style in order to achieve a certain level of success. That's the mural in itself. We brought that to the table. It was fresh, it was brand new. And from the 90s until now, you hear that distinguished sound that came from none other than this group sitting right here. From the twist to the harmonies and the fast double time beats, that came from us. So when we hear it, that's the recognition in itself. But to be recognized on that plateau, which the guys is expounding on, is coming. I think it's inevitable.
Auto-tunes kind of lasted for like maybe 2 or 3 years. People been duplicating Bone for probably about a decade, and ain't nobody said nothing yet. Dudes was doing auto-tunes. I'm so sick and tired of auto-tunes. Everyone is making money off auto-tunes. But when people was and making that money off Bone, nobody said a word. Same companies making bread, same different artists feeding they cheering, but nobody said a word. So we're to the point to where we are older, but at the same time, no one's paying attention. So you see that that it's something still against us. So that world's enemy is still there.
What the industry, all the execs, when they went and got their young rappers, sound like this. You know, the rappers young, they naive, they don't know. So you got these execs pushing us out to bring in the new because they like them young, you know what I mean? But what they failed to realize was Bone Thugs and Harmony created their own industry, bottom line.
And can take it back and recreate it all over again, exactly how we doing it right now. It's fresh, it's innovative, it's brand new. We recreated it all over again.
Well, the entertainment industry and hip-hop in particular has always been New York and LA focused. And it wasn't until you guys came along and really put it down in the middle of the map and broke that up. And maybe being from Cleveland is part of the reason for that lack of recognition that y'all are referring to.
Exactly.
I do have a Cleveland question. What's the biggest difference between St. Clair in 1994 and St. Clair in 2009?
Not a damn thing.
Goddamn worse.
Still killers, pimps, and pushers on that motherfucker. Nah, it's still the ghetto.
Cleveland is the same like how it was in the 60s when Don King and Steve Harvey and all them cats was out there stepping and, you know, trying to come up out of there to struggle to make a better way. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of people from Cleveland. Holly Berry, she from the Heights, but still she had to come through the hood one time or two. Yeah, but it's basically the same, man. It's like America is designed the same. Every city is designed to have an inner city where you keep the low-income people at. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard in the ghetto now, and it's always gonna be hard in the ghetto because that's where the least opportunities are. Like right now, they taking all the money and stuff out of the sports, out of the art side of school. So Cleveland public situation, it's always gonna be hard. We still got some niggas, you know what I mean, that's still trying to sell dope like it's 1989. You know what I mean, and not capitalizing on the new hustles because they can't even get the internet and can't afford it. So, you know what I mean? So it's just like St. Clair, and it ain't gonna change. We'll try to make a change, make a difference, but we're just one group. You know, Steve Harvey is just one person. You got the whole city begging for help. were asking for help, not begging. I never disrespect my people, but trying to get up out together.